Well, hello, everybody. I am attorney Michael Eline, and I am here on a Tuesday night. And I had a pre planned program to show you guys about Sturgis police harassing some bikers because you guys know that I'm all about forcing law enforcement to get warrants and abide by the Fourth Amendment. And I support the concept of government accountability operations. But during that time that I started this presentation until now, a friend of ours, Caroline in Fort Worth, got face slammed by a Fort Worth officer named Kruger, who apparently has a record for assaulting people and being a brute, and was able to stay on the force or get moved around, which is what a lot of cops do. They bounce all over town. So before I get into the Sturgis biker harassment stuff with my buddy Zos the Ghost the most, I want to talk a little bit about what happened to Caroline in Fort Worth, because now there's an active investigation against this cop. And so just to give you a rundown, hey guys in the sidebar, hey Jeff, hey Kurt Bronson, good seeing you guys. I want to give you guys a breakdown on what's going on with Carolyn. And well, everybody calls her different names, Carolina, Carolyn, but her real name is apparently Carolyn Rodriguez. And she was sent to the hospital due to getting slammed on the face by this complete lowlife named Kruger, this cop. Hopefully you guys in the sidebar know who I'm talking about. It was disgusting what happened to her. So there's the obligatory supervisor SUV. Notice all the police have these really cool SUVs now. I think that's kind of interesting. So they're investigating this guy. It happened on June 23rd at 3:26 a.m. So she's out filming this parking lot, trying to figure out why there's tax-paid police helping enforce parking citations in a private parking lot. And it looks like they're getting kickbacks or assisting, a local private tow company, and she's asking questions. And finally, since no one responds to her, she starts making smart ass comments like fire, rape, and all this stuff. And the cops just look at her and shake their heads because they know she's joking around, right? They get it. They know she's joking around. So then what happens is they're saying that she approached the officers during the investigation, whatever that is. They're saying that the officers had responded to a hit and run crash. At least that's what the police are saying, but that's totally different than the video shows. Now, when you're responding to a crash, you're going to have your lights on. You're going to have an active investigation scene. When you don't have your lights on, that's indicia that it's not an investigation scene. So we can see that someone's making up a bunch of BS over at the Fort Worth PD. Based upon my experience, that's just not how this works. So again, before we get into the biker video, I just want to go through this with you guys from a lawyer's perspective. This sounds like a total cover-up. It doesn't sound real. They're saying that they responded to a hit and run crash, but there was no hit and run scene going on there that we could see. What she was looking at is why are these guys in a private parking lot helping a tow truck driver write tickets or tow cars in a private lot? It had nothing to do with anything like that. Give me a bunch of ones in the comments if you think that this is BS. Now, in their statement, the Fort Worth PD said an officer asked Rodriguez to move across the street, and when she did not, the officer forcefully arrested her. They don't even mention anything about the fact that he had no right to arrest her. He had no right to tell her to do anything. She was not invading, impeding, or impairing any kind of investigation. She was far enough away from everybody to not cause a scene. She was just asking questions. She has a right to do that. It's called being an American. So now it says here that she sustained multiple injuries during the arrest, and she was taken to the hospital. She was released and booked into jail and charged with interference with duties and arrest or detention, evading arrest or false alarm and all this other crap. So the guy charges her with false alarm. That's how you know it's a bullshit charge, right? Overreach. Charges her with this nonsense because she said rape, fire, because she was trying to get some attention. Mind you, she's a little older. She's a senior citizen pretty much, and she's a nice lady. And she didn't deserve that. I mean, people don't deserve to get beat up by public servants just because they're put off. William Wallace put a lot of people off too, but he was still a freedom fighter, and now he's revered today. Give me a bunch of ones for William Wallace and Chile de Castro. So Dallas PD says that we're committed to transparency and accountability in all our operations, and will ensure that the investigation is thorough and impartial. And the news asked if they would identify who was suspended, if the officer was suspended, but they refused to comment. We don't even know if he's been suspended, but we do know that they filed an open records request to get the camera footage. I wouldn't be shocked if the cameras were pointed away. It looks like the female officers were covering their cameras with their arms and turning it away, almost like it was a setup. And this guy came in like a torpedo, kind of like a Chile video. You know, they were using him as the torpedo to take out Carolyn. And that's what ended up happening. She got torpedoed for sure. And, Brandon Mitchell says all of her charges are gone on the website. So that would be the court website. So I told you guys the other day, and I predicted that if they had a good filing deputy at the district attorney's office, that no filing deputy would ever file those charges, ever. So the way it works is an officer basically acts as a de facto magistrate on the street. The only power that he doesn't really have is the power to get you out of jail. He has the powers of arrest. He has the power to basically suspect you of a crime and issue you a subpoena. And if you don't comply by signing the subpoena or the notice to appear or charging document, then he can jail you and take you before the actual magistrate. But basically, he acts in a way as a magistrate. He's basically citing you, holding you to answer, and releasing you on your own recognizance. And in this particular case, the police officers, I wouldn't be shocked at all if the camera footage is gone, and I would be extremely shocked if the district attorney files the actual charges. So what's going to end up happening is, once the charging documents get sent to the district attorney, because I used to work for the LA city attorney at the prosecutor's office, and I used to do all the 1538.5 oppositions, the motions to, I would oppose the motions to suppress that the defense attorneys would bring. So I've seen hundreds of these things. And so what ends up happening is, before it gets filed, it goes before a very well-trained attorney, a deputy attorney, and they look at the police report, and they probably look at the officer's past record and go, we're not filing this, because the head district attorney is a political animal. And that's why I always tell you guys in the sidebar, always film and always show up in numbers. I'm so proud of you guys, all the auditors in the auditor community, spending their own money to go down to Fort Worth and protest. That's the best thing you can ever do. That's how the George Floyd family got $20 million. It was because of public outrage and protest. That's why. And we can do the same thing for Carolyn. We can make sure that she gets justice, and hopefully we can change Fort Worth forever as far as their police department goes. But in the interim, apparently a lot of these auditors went to a city council meeting, and I don't have all the skinny on this right now, but a city councilman named Chris Nettles released a letter Tuesday addressing the incident, saying what I saw and heard was very alarming and inconsistent from an initial report from Fort Worth PD. Duh. I mean, we all saw the video, guys. You guys should all know by now that cops lie. I got Ralph Riley joining me. Hey, what's up, Ralph? Good seeing you, brother.
How you doing, Michael?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm just doing a little, everybody, I got Ralph Riley with me.
You got me vertical. God damn.
Sorry, bro.
I swear you're thinking like a communist.
Oh, man. He's calling me a commie, guys. Oh, crap. I'm going to have to do some push-ups right now.
I think you done switched and went liberal on us.
Oh, man, I gotta go hide my rainbow flag real quick before he sees it.
Hey, one time, Mike, I was in San Francisco, and I got a bunch of freaking rainbow stickers, bumper stickers, and I put them on all my buddy trucks.
That's classic, man.
That's the kind of shit that I do, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So guys, I just want to let y'all know, I brought Ralph here because he's a biker, and I'm going to be doing this breakdown of this Sturgis, what I think was an unlawful stop, an unlawful violation of the Fourth Amendment rights of these bikers. But since what happened to Caroline is still fresh, and now we got this news report, I just want to break it down for the audience real quick, Ralph, and then I'm going to get into our video. But just real quick,
Okay.
what we know right now is the city council is like, man, that report from the police does not fit with the video footage from Carolyn. If she had not been filming, guys, she'd still be in jail. And I'm telling you, man, things would be going bad, a lot worse for her. So just keep that in mind. Always film in numbers, always have a backup, always have someone with watching your back, and make sure that you check the local buildings to see if they have cameras before you even start filming, because who knows, you might have access to other footage too that can save you from these jackbooted thugs. So basically, Nettles called on the police to release their body cam footage, but as I explained to you guys before, it's probably going to end up coming short. And the way that the cops are kind of covering up their cameras, which they're trained to do, I doubt anything's going to happen there. But this is a developing story, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the main video, and this is brought to you from my friend Zos the Ghost. Not really like buddies or friends, but I say friend like an internet friend. He's a one percenter. I'm a nobody, in his world. But I really appreciate what he's doing by bringing exposure to what I consider to be a good lifestyle, which is always questioning authority and standing up for your people, brotherhood, all those amazing things. That's what
there you are.
Yeah, that's what I love. Hey, Ralph, good to see you. So,
did I lose you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Did I lose you?
No, we're good.
Kind of went dead on my end.
We're good, man.
Anyway,
so I got Ralph here.
There's my Road King.
I got Ralph because he's out on his Road King right now. So we're going to get into this. Hey, Kurt, I got you vertical. So, and then Lenny Malley, good seeing you, Lenny. Thanks for showing up, guys. Look, I know it's not like this big show about Caroline, but I have a special place in my heart for the motorcycle community. I think that they're all the ideals that they live for are very patriotic and revolutionary, like our founding fathers. They really believe in a strong brotherhood and loyalty. And I really value that. And I value their whole system of where you have to earn your way in that merit-based system. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this off for y'all.
Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. Sturgis 2021. You would think MCs would be more accepted, but we have a profiling case. There's a video floating all over the internet with the Hells Angels getting harassed. So we're going to break it down and we get into it on this episode of Demons Row TV. And we ghosting, baby. Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. Welcome to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything motorcycle club involved. I'm Sos the Ghost. I'm your host for the evening. Shout to everybody that went out to Sturgis 2021. And once again, a profiling issue comes up. And now because of the use of cameras, we have the full footage of them profiling the Hells Angels for no apparent reason. You know what I mean? Just for being an MC on a Sunday. Because, in the United States of America, it is now illegal for you to be an MC. It's illegal for you to be in any club. They're on Fed watch list. So we're going to break all that down. But the first thing I want you to do, like we always...
Hey, it's not just that. It's not just motorcycle clubs, guys. We know that on March 4th, Congress released their report about the FBI illegally spying on the American people, targeting anyone who believes in the Second Amendment, who believes in legal immigration, who purchases Bibles, who shops at Dick's or Cabela's. They use the metadata using a private company to obviate the Fourth Amendment, to not have to have a Fourth Amendment. I just put Ralph on mute for a second because he's got background noise, but I'm going to bring him back in a second. He's here, guys. Don't worry. But so we know that they're targeting anybody who believes in traditional American values. If you believe in the Second Amendment, if you're a First Amendment auditor, a cop watcher, anybody like that, you're being thrown into this class of auditors, of sovereign citizens, and you're being targeted as an enemy, basically, of the new Marxist government that we have in place. And the administrative state is absolutely targeting Christians and white males in particular. And we know that from this report that was just released on March 4th. And if you go to my video page, I have a video about it called "Can I Sue the FBI for Illegally Labeling Me a Domestic Violent Extremist?" So we got that. So the thing is, guys, Ralph's got a little bit of feedback, so I'm going to put him on mute for a second, just because, but I'm going to bring him back to talk in a second. But I just wanted to lay the framework that the Hells Angels and the MC community at large, especially the 1%ers, are always targeted by law enforcement. They try to call them gangs and whatever they can to try and target them and go after them. And the idea is to make, in my opinion, for politicians to make it look okay to target certain people based upon the way they look. In this case, toxic masculinity and critical race theory. It's almost like the reverse of what happened during the Jim Crow period. Like it's like a judo move against like a judo racial move in a way. But it's not just about that. It's a spiritual move too. It's a battle between the principalities of power. You know, you have the Leviathan, the Luciferians who want to take control of children from their parents. Then you have the traditional parents who want to homeschool and homestead and escape from this great Leviathan. They don't want to have anything to do with the deep state or the administrative state. And motorcycle riders, the MC community personifies that. And I've got an MC dude right here, man, an independent guy, Ralph. And Ralph, I just wanted to, before I get more into this video, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? You got your cut on, it looks like.
I do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the only patch I wear on my cut, right there.
Oh, that's cool. Right on, man. Hell yeah.
That's the only cut I have.
So are you considered to be like a black and white? Is that what they call it? Like an independent? Is that? How does that work? I'm probably more considered a lone wolf. A lone wolf?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I know many 1%ers, and I'm friends with them all. You know, I know how the politics works. Yeah. And, you know, you gotta, it's all about honor, and you don't dishonor anybody.
Ever.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, man. It's the whole Marine thing. It's right there. And it's, I just think it's cool. But anyways, let's see what Zos has to say.
He's doing this channel is to hit me with that pound ghost in. And that lets me know you're alive and well, sitting on tools, doing what you do, or just part of the Demons Road community. One of my ghosts. Shout to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the road. Make sure you hit that bell so you get the notification.
I really love this guy's channel. Everybody, please like and subscribe to Demons Row. What a great channel. This guy I think he's going places. Give me a bunch of ones for Zos and Ghost.
Hit the like button. Shout to everybody repping the Demons Row clothing. You can get that now on www.demonsrow.com for the hats, the bandanas, and all that, and the t-shirts on www.demonsrowclothing.com. Shout to y'all for that. So we're gonna get into this footage of the Hells Angels out in Sturgis 2021. They're on Main Street. They're riding through, just trying to have a good time. No altercations over.
Yeah, so this is kind of like cop watchers, but in reverse. It's like the cop watchers are biker watchers. I mean, they're literally just harassing these bikers for no freaking reason at all. Check it out.
There. No altercations, no COVID, none of that stuff happened over there at Sturgis. No matter what they tell you, none of that stuff happened over there. There was no crimes. No crime took place for this to happen. So just look at, this is what America is like.
What he's saying is these bikers that got stopped and harassed, there was no prior incident or calls or 911s or any reasonable articulable suspicion to suspect these guys of a crime. I'm just putting it in lawyers' terminology for Zos.
And this is why I say, all of us united and us on the same page, we don't have to live like this. Do you realize that we don't have to live like this if we stick together? So never let anyone tell you that us sticking together is not possible. It is possible, and we need to really sit at the table and start ironing this out so these type of situations stop happening. You can't even have a good time anymore. Run the clip.
Music's kind of cool. So obviously there's a cop watcher. There's a cop watcher there filming this. Otherwise, you know, who knows what would happen, right? Because we know that law enforcement has a tradition, unfortunately, of planting drugs, throwing down weapons. We see it happening all the time because of cop watchers filming this and catching these guys on tape. So just think what would have happened to these guys. They're just minding their own business. They get pulled over. They're driving the speed limit. They're not intoxicated. They don't get arrested for intoxication. The pretextual reason is probably safety, but they're pulling these guys over for one reason, guys, and you're going to see it in a little bit. They're pulling them over because they're trying to get warrantless photographs. They're trying to get photographs of their faces up close without a warrant in violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Watch. So basically, these, I've got the other tape where they're talking. You can hear them. They're basically telling, why are you guys effing with us? Why are you guys harassing us? We didn't do anything. They're saying, give me your license. You have any weapons? The whole 9 yards, right? And he's basically saying, F you guys, leave us alone. You can see one guy's carrying a sheathed knife over there.
Most 1%ers always carry a knife.
Yeah, of course. I always carry a knife, and I always conceal carry wherever I go. Why wouldn't you? It's dangerous out there, man. Nice bikes, man. So, Ralph, how many times you been out to Sturgis?
I haven't made it to Sturgis yet, Mike.
All right, we're gonna have to take you out there one of these days. Hopefully, they won't harass you like these guys.
Oh, they can try to harass me all they want. I got a copyright trademark. It'll bite them in the ass.
So you can see, like, there's, I don't know, what, 10 cops probably, all in tactical positions.
I've seen this video before. Yeah, it's bull.
Right? I mean, they're just pulling these dudes over, and they're hitting them up. I'm kind of bummed out it's got music, man, because I like the other one where you can hear them talking.
There's a lot of times they'll pull them over and they'll strip them down to take pictures of their cat for new members that they don't have on the list.
Yeah, and that is not legal. I mean, they what they do is they look for guys who have warrants or on probation, that kind of stuff, so they can do it. But they need to get a warrant for that shit.
But Michael, you as a lawyer know how strong copyright trademark is.
Yeah, that's true.
I own my likeness. You know what I mean? But
I got
you have my permission to use my likeness. You know what I mean?
I understand, brother. But you can see, like, they're forcing them to give up their IDs. And now you're going to see in a few minutes here. Now, here's the thing. Really interesting. These are some pretty smart dudes, because I don't know what the carry laws are in Sturgis. But
You can open carry.
oh, that's cool. But none of them seem to have any firearms on them. The only thing that the cops pulled off of these guys, look, he's searching them, taking pictures of them. That's insane, dude. I would never consent to that. Look at that. He's literally videotaping this dude, and they're making him pose for the camera like he's some kind of common criminal. That's totally unacceptable. That is un-American. Totally un-American. So, unfortunately, you can't hear these guys talking, but he's just basically saying, man, you guys suck. Why are you trying to, hey, you got any weapons on you? I just want to do officer safety. After they put these guys in a kill box, they want to do officer safety. Unbelievable.
One of the greatest things is a fee schedule. When a cop asks for your ID, you hand them a picture ID with your UCC1 number on it, and it has your fee schedule on it. And it's $28,000 per minute.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So Lenny Malley says most of the time the guns are in the bags, at least when I travel on the bike. Yeah, I get that. I mean, if I'm riding around Nevada, I'll just open carry an M45 in a holster. Concealed carrying, especially riding a motorcycle, it's not very comfortable if it's like at your waistline anyways. But I have to see the guys, he's got a sheath right there. Pretty badass. I love their bikes, man.
That's why I have my my vest concealed carries.
Nice. Well, I'm just a registered deadly weapon all around. But no, look at these guys.
My registration is the Constitution.
Oh, yeah, Ralph. That's what I like hearing. This is crazy, though. They're just like, they're just harassing these guys for no reason. Now, this all ties into what happened to Caroline. The government is targeting and labeling anyone who doesn't go along with the administrative state as basically a biker gang or a sovereign citizen, and they use their for-profit media to try to destroy people who believe in the Second Amendment, who go to church, who believe in traditional family values, who believe that men can't be women and that women can't be men, that kind of thing. So they target people like that. They're going after them hard. And hey, a lot of people are moving away from California because California's lost millions of residents over the last several years. Mainly families, because they don't want their kids subjected to that stuff. And you see that they're basically treating everybody the way they're treating the Hells Angels. And that's why I try to expose this, because I want you guys to start thinking. You should not judge people. This is a motorcycle club. They're not out causing trouble. All right. I mean, there may be a few bad people in these clubs, and there are everywhere, but these guys are a brotherhood, and they're not causing any trouble. They just want to be left alone. And look, he's got his knife there, checking out his knife, trying to figure out a reason to make an arrest or figure out a way to get these guys, get a collar on them, walking around illegally, snapping pictures of them.
Yeah, they're getting facial recognition.
Just like they did over there in Iraq and Afghanistan. They try to snap pictures of your eyeball. They tried pulling that crap with me at the airport. And I just kept on closing my eyeball till they eventually just let me go. But you have no duty to consent to all those scanners and all that stuff at the airport, guys. Just keep that in mind. Call me if you have any issues about that. I'll help you sue the airport. It's totally unacceptable. Government's just trying to target people and classify them as terrorists if they don't agree with whatever the politicians say, who are being paid off by these companies like BlackRock. That's right. Wasn't matter you. It's voluntary. And look, I know we don't have millions of people in here tonight, but I really like to support the biker community, man. And I want you guys to see that they're being unfairly harassed just like you guys are. And they're part of the symptom here. You see, look what's going on. Just because someone looks different, they're getting called out, they're getting targeted. They're at a motorcycle event in Sturgis. Bikers go to these events. So you see these dudes walking around with the cameras. One of the dudes saying, "Hey, bro, don't worry, I got it all on camera." And the people walking around are basically saying, "You guys are a bunch of assholes for stopping these guys." So you got the community saying, "Hey, man, I'll make sure that you get this film." And the biker dude saying, "Thanks, bro, I'm going to need it." So I'll try to find the raw footage for you and put it on the description. Look at how long it's been, guys. How many minutes has it been? They just literally just stopped these guys in the middle of the street. They had no rash. They had no probable cause, nothing. Nothing. It's just like something you'd see in Nazi Germany.
I would just keep track of my crime log and bill them accordingly.
That's right. And hit the like button. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hopefully I'll have some updates for you guys about Chile in the next couple days too. So what's
in order to move forward, Michael?
Yeah.
In order to move forward and progress in our country, we have to go back and learn our true history. You can't move forward blinded.
I agree.
I always put in a comment, the greatest piece of paper that Abraham Lincoln signed was the Expatriation Act. Everything is voluntary. And that's the key secret word.
That's right. Everything is voluntary. It's all about compliance. And if you don't comply, then they don't have anything. And that's why I keep telling you guys, it's time for people to start forming their own parallel systems where they don't have to be part of the system where you're being judged because you're a Christian, or you're being judged because you're a white male, or because you want to engage in the Second Amendment, or because you believe the border should be secured and that people should come here legally. And now you're being treated like you're the criminal. Well, if you form your own parallel systems like the Amish did, like the Mormons did to a lesser degree, like the Mennonites have, then you're on a good start, because now you're trading amongst each other. You're forming your own system outside of the Leviathanic system. And then they're forced to start changing because they're losing you. And that's what Martin Luther King did. He was very successful. All the Southern shopkeepers and store owners, when the blacks stopped shopping there, it hurt them in their pocketbook. Look, I don't know why any parent would shop at Target. They got like Luciferian, satanic kids wear with rainbow flags all over them. I mean, if you care about your kids, I mean, that's your job to sexually educate your kids, not Target or some public school teacher, especially when they're kindergartners. So that's the kind of stuff that I talk about. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
It goes even deeper than that. I watched a video the other day where they were exposing Tractor Supply, paying and donating to the Rainbow Warrior stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
it's happening.
They could rather than give them that money, they could just lower the prices for everybody.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. I don't get it. It's a hate crime to do burnouts on one of those flags, but it's not a hate crime to burn Old Glory. And I just don't get it, man. I'm totally confused about everything that's going on in my beloved country. I feel for you guys, especially the young people who growing up in the 80s was magic, man. It was a magical time, and everybody loved their country. Even the Democrats loved America back then. They didn't burn flags. It was an amazing, magical time. And
you burned a flag where I grew up at, you got your ass stomped.
Oh, for sure, man. Absolutely. And you just don't do that. It's unacceptable. It's a symbol of our brotherhood and sisterhood as Americans. So anyways, I hope y'all got an opportunity to kind of see, it looks like we lost Ralph again. I hope y'all got an opportunity to see how they were harassing those Hells Angels. There's actually more footage of that video. I'll have to bring it to you some other time, but this isn't going to be a really long show tonight, Ralph. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I wanted to stand in solidarity with other people who are getting harassed, because there is a characterization going on. There's a classification and characterization of people who fight for freedom and support the Constitution, and they're being ostracized and they're being attacked and they're being labeled as domestic violent extremists. It's like something out of a George Orwell novel where bad is good and good is bad. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree with that. Now, Ralph, what do you have to say, man? What kind of bike do you ride, dude? Tell us about it. Tell us about what you do.
I got an 03 Road King. It was customed out. It's all stroked out. I got the 96 uppers, the 103 Screaming Eagle heads, the big cams in it. I got to run a super tuner on it. I could be cruising at 35 in third gear and romp on it, and I'll stand it straight up. And I got the scar marks on the rear fender to prove it.
That's awesome.
I tried walking out there and show you a picture of it, but I kept losing feed for some reason.
No shit. That's cool, man.
I run private plates on my bike. DOT exempt. I'm not a driver. You don't drive a motorcycle. And the old term scooter, it came from because in California DMV code book, anything with a running board is considered a scooter. Well, my Road King's got running board, so it's a scooter. And as such, I don't have to have an endorsement.
That's interesting. I know a lot of people register their vehicles in Montana, kind of like like the moving companies do. They'll register all their vehicles, like in Arizona, for example. That's another workaround that I've heard about.
Yeah.
But hey, does anybody in the sidebar ride motorcycles? What do you guys think of the outlaw motorcycle lifestyle in general? I mean, most guys in the sidebar tell me, bikers helped me. They rescued me to be able to, I was in a dark place. The Riverside Veterans Memorial refused to have a memorial ceremony or receive my father's body because of their bullshit COVID lockdowns. And I got a biker club to do a memorial for my father. They brought a Scottish bagpiper, a Marine Corps gunnery sergeant who used to play in the Marine Corps band. We had Jane Fonda targets. It was at a gun range. We did a 21 gun salute to my father, and we celebrated the couple Vietnam veterans who were bikers, all Marines, came out, and bikers made that possible for me. And so, because they are a brotherhood, and obviously I got lucky because it was the Leathernecks and they were Marines, but I have no doubt in my mind, and I don't know any 1%ers or anything, but I know that if I had a connection with one of those 1%er clubs and that had gone down and I'd known them, I'm sure they would have done the same, because there's all about veterans, all of them. Every biker I've met, I don't care what club, what patch they wear, they love veterans and they love America. That is something that rings true with every motorcycle club I've ever met. They're very patriotic. So I have no doubt that these people will be there for you. They do these Toys for Tots runs. They do a lot of amazing things for kids. They also make shows of force at high schools when bullies mess with kids that are autistic and stuff. Bikers will come up and drive around campuses with the autistic kid on the back of the bike to let all those bullies know, what's up. And I just think they do a great service to the public. There's nothing wrong with having the ability to do great violence. Being somebody who is a hard target is a good thing. And for all you ladies, it's good to have a man who makes you a hard target around. In my opinion, my wife loves it that I know how to defend myself, and that if we're out in town, that she knows that I'll be standing between her and the kids. Automatically, she knows that. There's no question about it. And I think bikers do that too, right, Ralph? Isn't that kind of the mentality? They'll take a bullet for each other, right?
Well, all of my friends, I don't know none of them that drink soy milk.
I love that, man. Well, yeah, but a lot of them drink a lot of alcohol, right?
Well, yeah, on occasion. Yeah, but when you got to handle business, you got to have a sober head. You know what I mean?
Yep. I do.
I typically don't drink when I ride. If I'm out riding with my friends, I drink tonic water because it's refreshing. And being a carpenter, I've had many heat strokes, so I got to stay hydrated, and I don't want to be cramping up.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially if you're out in town, right? And a cop starts harassing you. You got to be on your feet. It's when they start asking you questions like this.
Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
Man, I just love that crap. That is the best.
Where are your papers?
Who made that, Michael?
Man, I don't know. It looks like some gamer, but my audience loves it, dude. It's just the funniest. Here's the fun. Where are your papers? And of course, that's Colonel Klink. Yeah.
Somebody needs to freaking Photoshop Kruger's face in there.
I know that's what BZ was saying. BZ was saying we gotta put. He was saying we gotta put Kruger on that German guy, Colonel Klink. But so have you been following Caroline's story, Ralph? What happened to her and
yes,
stuff?
I have. Yeah, I did. I've been a subscriber of hers for many years, and she's got some moxie for a little tiny thing, but that was uncalled for. That was totally uncalled for,
Yeah, no man.
I hope they run that guy through the ringer.
Me too, man. That was totally unacceptable. Could you imagine, like, if that was your mom or your sister? Like, if
you or I would have done that. If you or I would have done that, we'd have freaking $150,000 bail minimum.
They didn't even arrest the guy, dude.
Yeah.
And the reports from the PD. Everybody, she's doing fine. She's doing fine.
He's going to be one of those butts guys. That's when he gets up there to St. Peter and they say, well, you did this and you did that. And he goes, yeah, but. Yeah,
that's true. You're right, man.
That's a yeah, but guy. He has no honor.
I appreciate you, man, because you're right. I just always think like
he violated his oath that he took. He took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and that Constitution is the guidelines that keeps the government from being tyrannical on us.
It's supposed to.
Yeah, we don't have constitutional rights. We have unalienable rights. They come from the Creator.
Amen.
We created government. They answer to us.
They're supposed to.
Yeah.
I agree, man. 1,000%. Less government means more freedom. Less government means more freedom. Yeah. And one of the things that I really love, and I've said this before about my audience, is that I'm a libertarian. I would say probably half my audience are Democrats, the other half are Republican, at least the way they lean. But we all get along.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we all get along because we have a common denominator, which is that we do believe in natural law. And I'm sure that eventually, the Democrats are going to figure it out that you can't support Marxism and support natural law. But it's going to take some time. But in the meantime, we've got a pretty nice following, and we're building some steam to hold the government accountable. And government accountability operations are what it's all about for me. Holding the government accountable is the highest calling for any American. You don't all have to be like Caroline. You don't have to be like BZ Watchdog. You don't even have to be like Philly DeCastro. You can all do your part, like I'm trying to do here by educating you. So what we saw in this last video just now, go ahead, Ralph.
They can do their part by being American,
Amen.
Not U.S. citizen. Because a U.S. citizen is the 14th Amendment citizen, which the government created.
Well, we know that the 14th Amendment was passed with help from unelected and even newly freed slaves that were packed into the Southern legislature.
But it wasn't ratified.
And it was right. So it was not properly ratified, but it was voted into existence by unelected. And there you go. During the suspension of the habeas corpus. So a lot of historians a lot of legal historians to this day disagree that and the 16th and other amendments have validity. And we can have that debate another time. But right now, what I want to focus on is this massive assault on the Constitution, starting under the Obama administration and going full bore under the Bush administration with all of these warrantless wiretap and search laws and they just keep getting extended. And so what happens is we have these administrative agencies like the CIA flooding the country with illegals and people that aren't supposed to be here. And we know eventually they're going to cause a problem. And then what happens? A new law gets passed to restrict your freedom when they do something wrong. We also know that they know many times when there are going to be violent shootings and attacks and they do nothing. And many people say that that's done on purpose. And so there is a really huge faction of people right now, especially since the last election where they saw the vote counters getting kicked out of polling booths and they were being blocked from counting and looking at what was going on. And then big post office trucks pulling up at 3 a.m. filled with ballots, vote by mail. And we know the post office definitely does not support the Republican Party. And so people just don't trust the voting system. They don't trust the administrative agencies. They saw what happened to Donald Trump with all these criminal charges where nothing happened to Joe Biden. When Joe Biden did the same thing, but he didn't have presidential immunity, did not have executive authority to steal those documents from his office when he was a Senate or vice president. So we see there's definitely...
Well, it just came out that the FBI freaking put in freaking fake leaflets that said classified on all those papers.
That's right. So we know now also that Jack Smith made it into a photo op, and they put stuff all over the place to make it into a photo op, so it would look like they had all these classified documents.
All of those conspiracy theorists are proven right again.
Right, and so the folder of classified documents that they actually found looked about like this. Okay, but what they did is they filmed all these other boxes that he had executive authority to have, but then made it look like it was all classified. And of course, their accomplices in the for-profit media, their willing accomplices, as Rush used to say, just went along with the program. So there's just no accuracy or truth in reporting. Fact checkers are basically there to make up something about your story that your story never even said, so they can say it's false and then ban you. And they're highly political as well. Fact checkers are partisan, far left. And so there's nobody trusts any of these people anymore. The only people who trust the other side is the other side. Go ahead, Ralph.
The fact checking thing came in because Obama altered the Smith-Mundt Act and made propaganda legal again.
Well,
kind of ironic that all the school shootings started happening after that.
I've heard this before. I've heard this before.
Well,
what really?
That's what got Alex Jones in trouble.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very disconcerting, because
it makes you think that everybody in that neighborhood's house got paid off on December 25th. Kind of ironic, ain't it?
Well, what's
coincidence?
I don't know about that, but it is pretty
and that's
crazy.
All public record that can be researched.
That's true.
It's all public record.
So we see this systemic thing going on with the administrative state, especially in academia. We have these DEI appointments being placed in charge of the university system, serial plagiarizers, and they're teaching the youth. We see a downsizing and a downgrading of our educational system happening in full bore in California and other Western states. They're trying to eliminate math. They're trying to eliminate the bar exam. They're saying that it's racist to have a merit-based system. They're going to start giving out big checks to minorities. They're going to have a racial purity office in California to determine if you're black enough or you're a different race enough in order to issue you a check. And guys, if you've studied pre-Third Reich Germany, it sounds to me exactly the same way. Critical race theory is no different than the way the Nazis treated the Jews in their school system, but now it's just reversed. They're, white people are the new Jews, basically, and everybody else is oppressed. They're the new Germans. And you see history repeating itself, and it's just uncanny and remarkable to me. Give me a bunch of ones in the sidebar if you see the same thing. Do you see the same thing too, Ralph? Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I'll add something biblical. There's nothing new under the sun.
Oof. That was prophetic, literally.
History repeats itself.
Hey guys, give me a bunch of ones. Give me a bunch of ones for Ralph Riley joining us today. I think it's so cool that I have like regular people in my audience who care about their country, and I love showcasing them. Although I might be a lawyer, I'm a man.
I like how you said that, Mike. I like how you said that. A people. I'm not a person. I'm a people.
That's right. We're all people, and we're all
people can be plural.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to look over into the sidebar and just see if anybody's got any questions. Does anybody have any questions for Ralph? I'm sure you guys have seen him on Chili's channel and on my channel, probably for years, now on different channels. So now's your chance to ask him any questions. We know he's a biker. We know he's a free man upon the land. He believes in freedom. He believes in being left alone. He does not support the administrative state. And to me, he just reminds me of like one of my uncles when I was growing up. Just a cool dude, if you had a problem, your plumbing went bad, something went wrong at your house, electrical, this guy'd be able to fix it. You just know it just by looking at him. You can tell this guy is a real man. He digs. You can tell he's probably got calloused hands. He knows how to rip a motor apart. To me, that's what an American is all about. Like a lawyer, that it's a necessary evil. But if everybody was an honorable person, I just think we'd all be out tilling and farming and being with our farm animals and having babies and being with our wives and kids, man. If we could go, if there was a way to do that, that's what I would rather do. Give me a bunch of ones if you'd rather do that too. Because I agree, I'd rather not have lawyers. I'd rather us just be so honorable and trustworthy that we don't need that.
Michael?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any way to view the chat to see if anybody's asking any questions.
All right, I'm going to just tell you. So, well, Internet Tough Guy says his plumbing went out.
I don't fix guys' plumbing. I don't fix female plumbing.
And he said, fix it, goy. Oy vey, fix the plumbing. Huh? Oy vey.
He's got the wrong kind of plumbing. He got the wrong kind of plumbing for me to fix. I've laid a lot of pipe. I've laid more pipe than wall Michelle plumbing.
You're killing me, brother.
I love that one from Grumpy Old Man.
So Salty Buckeye says cuckoo bird culture, lazy individuals trying to take credit.
Well, you might.
Hey, I got you. Trying to take credit for what the hardworking men of this country do every day, trying to take control of it. Man, that's so true. You saw that Larry Fink, the guy, like the CEO of BlackRock. He's the one that's got this DEI score, like this, you gotta have like tranny clothing for kids at Target, or they're going to lower your credit score. And so he's pushing all this crap.
That's the same thing that's pushing the deal on Tractor Supply.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they're doing. They're forcing all this Luciferian crap on all their corporations that they own, like Disneyland. Like you can't even go to Disneyland if you have kids now. I mean, it's like a freaking porno movie that trannies running around everywhere, guys wearing dresses. I mean, if you got kids, it's like why would you?
And all kinds of kids go missing every day from Disneyland.
Disneyland, that's true. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't care what adults want to do, but when you start like trying to sexualize children and like forcing it on them, doing drag queen shows with little kids.
I'm not a racist. I'm just not into immoral bullshit.
It's immoral. It's parents.
And it's like the Bible says, when you mess with the young, you be best to have a millstone put upon your neck and tossed into the deep.
That's right. That's
it's like what happens when you get sold up with a chomo. You better handle it.
It's a problem when the government presumes that they can sexualize our kids and presume that we won't do anything about it. And what they've done rather than be open about it, they're spying on us and labeling us domestic violent extremists, parents, people who go to church, people who believe in the Second Amendment. That report that was just released by Congress on March 4th lays it all out. I mean, if you're a traditional American who supports the Constitution, this current administration and its weaponized FBI is in fact and has in fact labeled you a potential domestic violent extremist. Hey, very nice, man. I love that. Hey, everybody, read your Bibles too, man. I think it's one of the best books you could ever read because your life on this planet is very short, and you better get right with your Creator.
That book is a shop manual for life, and it's a trust indenturement because God gave us dominion over this land.
Well, Stacy Parenti says a family member cut me off because I don't agree with kindergartner teachers talking about sexuality. I say, bye, bro. Look, you know how many so-called friends I've lost since I lost a family member from the booster shot from thrombosis after the government tried to lie about it and conceal the data, the efficacy data. And then this whole thing, me representing parents who were fighting against the public school system where their children had their breasts chopped off and they were sexualized by public school teachers, and people actually attacking me for representing the parents. And these are kids that outgrow this. It's like, when you're young and you think you're a butterfly or you think you're a fireman and then you outgrow it. The problem is when they inject all these young girls with all these hormones, it destroys their endocrine systems. They can never have kids again. They chop off their boobs. And it's just all part of that Luciferian Baal worship, where they want to sterilize all the kids and just anything you can do to destroy the creation. It's just right out of the Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible. Give me a bunch of ones if you know what I'm talking about. What do you think, Ralph?
I think it's just like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, I'm not going to judge people for what they want to do in the privacy of their own home, but when you try to bring that crap around my kids at a public school, that's a game changer for me, man. I'm sorry. That's just not going to fly.
Jesus told us that the most important thing of all is love.
Amen.
And I can understand you can't help who you love.
Yeah,
as long as they're of age of consent.
Yeah.
I don't play that. I'm not down for that shit. I don't care who they are.
That's right.
Right
on, Ralph. I respect that. You're right, man. And that's what it's all about. Being an American means that we don't try to force our lifestyles on other people. And we see that with this new Rainbow Mafia. That's all they're doing is trying to force their lifestyle and ram it down the throats of parents and kids. And we're sick of it. We just want to be left alone, That's all. I think that it's a fair thing, don't you think? I mean, I'm not trying to force them to go to church.
Oh.
Why are they trying to bring their church to my kids?
Exactly.
Because that's their faith-based religion, right? It's a faith-based religion, right? It really is.
Yeah.
It's a faith-based religion.
Hey, they can identify as Satanists. We can identify as Amish and Mennonites.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you, if we get reparations in California, I'm going to identify as being a former slave. That's for sure.
Well, do you know who the first slaves in America was?
Yeah, indentured servants, white people.
Irish.
That's true.
And they were here before the Indians.
That's right.
Scientifically proven.
Yeah, and we had Vikings up in Canada, somewhere up there, right on the east shore there.
The Vikings were here in the Americas too.
Yeah.
But the Irish came here first. I got into a debate with a native friend of mine, and I told her, I said, well, your tribe is known for its pictographs and stuff down there in San Diego. She goes, yeah. I said, well, go talk to your elders. And she came back. She was so damn pissed. She goes, yeah, the Oakham is the ancient Irish language, and it's underneath the pictographs.
Look, I'm a big fan of Scott Wolter. He does the America Unearthed. He's actually a buddy of mine over on Twitter. We kind of chat back and forth, and I'm trying to do some help. I'm trying to help him out with some land grant issues, some historical research. And I would definitely like to learn more about this. But my biggest concern, Ralph, is if the
Mike,
Irish,
Mike,
yeah.
What issues are you having with land grants? Because I kind of specialize in patents and stuff. I have the land patent in my property.
Well, we'll talk about it, but it goes back to the Knights Templar. So we'll talk about it in another show because I gotta take my son to judo in a minute. But what I wanted to say is, I wonder how those Irish.
I know judo, I know karate, and kung fu, and about 4 other Asian words.
Oh, well, I'm just my biggest concern is if the Irish did show up in there, we're Indians. Do you think that they might ask questions like this?
Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they? You don't have any papers?
I used to tease and I used to tease my one buddy who was Indian, and I told him, we wouldn't be here if you guys had a better immigration program.
That's funny. That is classic. So hold on. I just want to read you some of the comments. So Brick Jonesy says, really though, we are all American princess, fam us trophy. Right on, Brick. And that's how I feel too, man. I think that we're all sovereign, all of us. We are all God's children. Are. That's right. And so
what is the definition of Indian? It's an indigenous. What's the definition of indigenous? Something created from nature. There's nothing more natural than your mom and your pop getting down and funky naturally and creating your ass.
I think that's
we are
awesome.
All an indigenous.
That's right. I don't think
you just got to grow a set of balls and stand up for it.
Right on, Ralph. Right on. Dude.
I reside right here on Turtle Island. I am domiciled on Turtle Island.
Stacy Parenti says, this was so fun. Thanks to all of you. So looks like you got some new friends here. So guys, everybody, now you know who Ralph Riley is. This is your homie. I'm sure we'll have him on again in the future. So Ralph, I want to start wrapping this bad chicken up. So you want to say your goodbyes?
Hey, where's my cut of those freaking the Cash App thingies? Come on, Mike.
Hey, where's
my 10% cut?
What's the matter? You says what's the matter? You says we all come from a lewd act. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The lewder the better, man.
But at least it wasn't sodomy.
Yeah. So I am God says, what
did one gay sperm? Mike, what did one gay sperm say to the other gay sperm?
What?
How are we supposed to find the egg and all this shit?
Oh my God, that's terrible. So I am God's asking me, what about the social contract? We can talk about social contracts in another episode, but just understand that there are many misconceptions about what a social contract is and isn't. And there are many types of social contracts. And the social contract that John Locke talks about is a bit different than the social contract that we talk about in personal injury law, for example. So that's another episode that I'll have to dedicate a good hour to that one. But I am God.
A social contract is your social security card that was applied to you when you're a minor child and not of the age of consent.
Hey, Let's OTVO just gave a thumbs up to you, Ralph. I put him up here at the top, so I don't know if you can see him. So
no, I don't see anything on my deal.
Okay, because like if you're on your phone, I added him to the top of the viewer, like it's a picture of him. But oh well. Anyways, guys,
yeah, I see him up there.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to put stuff up there so you could just see people.
Yeah. I see.
Hey, what's up, dude? And then Debbie Donovan says, very cool. Thanks, Debbie. I appreciate you showing up. Donovan sounds very Irish, so it looks like you might have a fan club going on here, Ralph. I don't know. Better be careful, ladies.
Ralph Riley.
This guy's a lady killer, man. He's the man. Better watch it. Might do that.
And I'm single.
Dance. He might do that sword dance on you.
No, it's called the helicopter, Michael.
The helicopter.
I've been known to make money dancing.
Yeah. Hey, Stacy Parenti says she feels like she's at a sports bar. I love it. That's cool. That is awesome. Well, look, man.
Yeah, we don't have no beers. Where's our beers?
Yeah.
We'll have to toast. We'll have to toast with tea.
Rick Jones, he says, let natural law take effect. Amen, brother. That's what I think too. So, look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and everybody's just cracking up in the sidebar. Look, I think you're a hit, dude. We're going to have to have you back on again. I'm loving this. So, guys, everybody, I've been pushing back my show on the Delete Laws channel, but I'll try to do it tomorrow night. I'm doing a show on recycled cops and how law enforcement officers who screw up and batter people and cause harm just get recycled to other departments, usually in small towns, and cause more harm and damage there. That's what happened to Caroline with this Officer Kruger, in my opinion, and we'll cover that in that video. But it was really important to me to bring this show to you tonight because a lot of people have been hitting me up about this Hells Angels false arrest and illegal trying to get photographs seen. And I wanted to show you the comparison of how cops are just treating anyone who is basically not like a communist Chinese lemming, right? Just obedient to the state, is the enemy. And it's exactly the opposite of how we were raised. People my age were raised. We grew up on Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, the Lone Ranger, John Wayne.
John Wayne.
We were always taught about the spirit of revolution and what made
The Rifleman.
Great. Yes, the Rifleman, Bonanza, what made America
High Chaparral.
Yeah. Yeah, what made America great was that heritage of resistance, of fighting authority and resisting authority. And what you have now is this faction of the far radicalized Marxists in this country who are trying to become like communist China. And you see our education system in lockstep with the communist Chinese style thinking, the groupthink, the campus culture.
Well,
we have to fight back, guys. We do it with these bar scenes with Ralph. Yeah.
It's our obligation to usurp unlawful orders.
I like that. I like that. And that being said, Stacy Parenti says it's in all towns. Thanks, Michael. All towns are small towns getting away with far too much. You're right. So we'll talk about that hopefully tomorrow night. And then thank you again, Ralph, for showing up. We put in about a good hour for you guys. Again, I appreciate all your support, guys. It's really hard for me to do these shows. I do have a law firm and I got kids, and I do this mainly, well, because I love doing it, but because I'm trying to teach my kids how to become entrepreneurs and how to have their own business so they don't have to work for someone else. I want to teach them how to do marketing and get the patriotic message out. And I really want my kids to be the beneficiary of the fight that I'm doing right now. Oh yeah, show us your motorcycle, dude. You got your bike out there?
It's over here. I go out there, but I lose reception. See it?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Check out Ralph's bike, guys. Oh, that's a nice bike. Hell yeah, dude.
See them plates?
Yeah.
DOT exempt.
Guys, Ralph
is my view.
Ralph is living free. Glory be to Ralph, man. Congratulations, dude, that you found your place in the world. There's so many people who don't have that gift and that release of liberty and freedom like you have.
It's about knowing your rights and standing up for them and not backing down.
Amen. I love it.
Conviction is something that you're willing to die for.
Yep.
God told me to make a stand on my land and build my home. I have to do it because my immortal soul depends on it.
I love that. All right. So listen, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. So with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save because you never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. So thanks again for showing up, Ralph. I'm really glad you showed up today. And Semper Fi, do or die.